Hello and welcome back to another Voxel tutorial. In this one, we're going to create a dashboard page where the user can manage their submissions or their listings. Let's go to the WordPress dashboard and go to pages. And I'm going to create a page, and we can name this something like my listings or my submissions, and publish. And the next thing we're going to do is add this page to our user menu. So select my listings, add to the menu, and let's drag it up here. And we're gonna select an icon for it. Let's pick this one for now and save changes. Back to pages, I'm going to edit this page and then press edit with Elementor. And let's add a container, and let's apply some padding. So 30 pixels on right and left and 60 on top and bottom. And we're gonna hide the footer on this page. So now we have the My Listings item in the user menu, which links to the page that we have created. If you follow the previous video, we created a dashboard menu, which we are displaying on all dashboard pages at the top of the page. So let's apply that menu to this page as well. Let's go to the dashboard, design, header and footer. So let's edit the conditions for the dashboard header and add another rule group, and I'm gonna pick its page, then select the page that I created, and now our menu will appear on this page. I'm gonna now edit the page and proceed to work on it. First we're gonna add a container here, and inside this container we're gonna place a heading widget. Let's change it to an H1 and type my listings, and below this we're gonna add a text widget, and here type something like manage your listing submission. Let's change the color to gray and reduce the gap to 7 and save changes. Another thing I'm gonna do is set the container width to 1200 pixels and set the inner container to full width. So this way the content aligns with the user menu. Actually, we can see that the alignment is not quite right. This is because each menu item has a padding applied to it. So if we check this first menu item, we can see it has some left padding. To fix this, we can edit the dashboard header. Click on the navbar, go to style and set the padding to 0. Save changes. And now everything aligns correctly. I'm gonna close the dashboard header and proceed to work on the My Listings page. So below this container, I'm going to add another container. Let's just duplicate this one and delete the widgets inside it. And inside this container, we will display the listings that this user has created. There are two ways to do this. One is just using the post feed widget to list all the listings. And the other one is using both post feed and search form. So if you want search functionality on this page, you would use the search form and post feed. But if you just want to display the entries, then you can just use the post feed. In this example, we're gonna use both the search form and post feed. So let's add the search form widget here. And let's pick the post type, places. And let's now add the post feed widget below it. And as data source, we're gonna keep search form widget, then link the search form to the post feed. Press apply changes. So now our search form and the post feed is linked and the results are displayed. We're gonna add some filters here and also create a different design for the card. But before we do that, let's go to the WordPress backend, go to structure and edit places post type. Go to filtering and then go to indexing. So by default, only published posts are included in the index. So only these can be displayed in Frontend. But for the dashboard, we want the listing author to have access to all of their posts regardless of status. So we're gonna enable all statuses here. Save changes. And then we're gonna go to indexing status and press recreate tables. So this is important to do every time we change the statuses that we are including in the index, because the previous index only included the published posts. Now that we have done this, let's go to search filters and we're gonna add the post status filter. And if you want, you can upload an icon for this filter, but we're gonna leave it as is for now and save changes. Let's reload Elementor and select the search form. We have selected the places post type here. Let's now go to place filters and add item. And we want to add 3 filters in the search form. The first one is going to be the keyword filter, and we're going to display it as inline. The second one is going to be the post status filter, and we're going to display it as a pop-up. And here you can pick all of the different statuses, but if we leave it blank, it will just display all of them. Another thing we're gonna do is set a default value for this filter. So by default, all statuses are displayed. Let's drag this post status filter on the first spot and save changes. And the other filter we're gonna add is the author filter. Let's first create this filter. So in the post type editor, I'm gonna click on the author filter and save changes. Let's reload the page again so we get the latest changes. And now I'm going to add a third filter and here pick the author filter. So the point of the author filter is to filter the results by a specific user on the site. In this case, we want when the user goes to the My Listings page for the results to be filtered by that logged in user. So to do that, we can add a default value to the author filter and then enable dynamic tags, go to user and pick ID. Save changes. So you can see now in the search form, my username is appearing here because I'm the current user who is viewing the page. But when another user views this page, then the results will be filtered by their user ID. Another thing we're gonna do on this filter is on search form reset, set the value of this filter to. We're gonna pick default value. So this means even if the filters are reset, that the author filter will always keep this default value. And finally, we have no use for this filter to visually display here, so we're gonna hide it. Let's now go to the post types here, and under perform search, we're gonna pick when any filter value is updated, because we don't want the user to click the search button every time. And we're gonna disable the search button and display the reset button only. Let's remove the label entirely and save changes. Let's quickly test if our search form is working. I'm gonna search for the balance table. Let's reset the filters. You notice when I click the reset button that the post status filter has no value now. To solve this, we're gonna do a similar thing to what we did on the author filter. So under post status, when the search form is reset, set the value of this filter to, we're gonna pick default value and save changes. And now when we click the reset button, the post status filter will keep its default value. Let's work a bit more with the design. I'm gonna increase the gap between the search form and the post feed to 15 pixels. And also I'm gonna display the total count here. And also for the no results label, we're gonna type you have not submitted any listings yet. Save changes. The next thing we're gonna do is design a different cart template, which we're gonna use on this page. So let's go to design, places. Under templates, go to the preview cards tab and create another preview card. And we're gonna name this one dashboard card. Press edit. So we're gonna create a horizontal layout for this. Let's add a container, and for preview purposes I'm gonna increase the editor width, and inside this container we're gonna first display the listing logo. So let's add an image widget and set the width and height to 80 pixels. and object fit to cover, and set the border radius to 50%. And let's select the container. I'm gonna apply some padding and also border. So 1 pixel solid border, and set the border radius to 8. Let's reduce the padding on the bottom and top side to 15. And on this image widget, we're gonna pull the listing logo. So search for the logo, dynamic tag, and pick file ID. Next, we're gonna add the container here, and this one is going to contain our title, the date, and the status of the listing. But before we do that, we can see the logo is distorted. Let's pick the image widget again, go to advanced, and under size set it to none. So this will prevent the image widget from shrinking. Let's now select our inner container, and inside we're gonna place a heading widget, which we're gonna use to display the title. And we're gonna duplicate this. In this second one, we're gonna first set it to a span and change the text color to gray and typography to text, and enable dynamic tags. And we're gonna first display the date here, then add this separator, and then display the status. Save changes. So let's apply a date format mod to the date. I'm gonna click on the date dynamic tag and add a date format, and then here paste the format. So to understand how dates are formatted and to apply your own format, you can go to the WordPress documentation, and you can see various different formats here, and you can copy any of these and paste them into the Voxel mod, and then that format will be utilized to output the date. In this example, I'm gonna restore this format and save changes. And now our date is formatted how we want. Decrease the gap on the parent container to 5 and align the items to the center. And the next thing we're gonna do is add the various actions on the right side here, so we can manage the listing, for example, deleting it, unpublishing, editing, and so on. So what I'm gonna do is go to the single listing template and copy this action widget so we get all the styling, and I'm going to paste it here after the container. And on the advanced tab, I'm gonna disable position absolute, and as for size, we're gonna set it to none so it doesn't shrink, and we're gonna now select the parent container and align all the content to the center. Let's now add the actions that we want. So first we have the edit action, which we're gonna keep. We're gonna delete this share action, and we're gonna add an action to view the listing. So we're gonna pick link. As for the link, pick dynamic tags, post thermalink. Next we're gonna upload an icon for this action. I'm gonna upload this eye icon. And we're gonna remove the text and instead add a tooltip, view listing. The next action we're gonna add is the delete action. So select delete post, remove the text and add a tooltip, delete listing. And here we're gonna upload an icon and insert. For now we're gonna add 2 more actions. In the future videos we're gonna add a few more when we implement some additional functionality. But for now, we're gonna add the publish and unpublish action. So choose first the publish post action, delete the text, and add the publish listing tooltip. And we're gonna select this plus icon. Let's duplicate this and add another action for unpublish. Let's change the tooltip text. And for this one, we're gonna add a minus icon. So right now you can see the unpublished action is appearing because this post is already published. But when you unpublish it, then the publish action will appear in its place. Let's reorder these actions. I'm gonna keep the view link on the last spot and the edit before it and save changes. So we have created our design. Let's now go to the My Listings page and edit it. I'm gonna close these other tabs. And to use that design here, we're gonna select the search form widget, go to place filters, and then select the template that we have created, in this case the dashboard card. Save changes and reload. So our template is applied now, but because the layout is horizontal, it's not suitable to be displayed in 3 columns. So let's change the number of columns to 1 in the post tweet widget. And let's now save changes. Let's test these actions. So the view action will link to the actual listing page. The edit action will go to the submission page and edit this listing. And the unpublish action will change the status to unpublished. To make it available again, the listing owner can publish it again. The final thing we're going to do here is restrict this page for logged out users. So to do that, let's go to page settings, Voxel, visibility, pick hide this document if user is logged out. And when the page is restricted, we want to show the login and registration page instead. So we're going to pick alt template and save changes. Let's now try and view this page while logged out. We can see the login page is being displayed in its place. We're going to work a bit more with this styling. I'm going to reduce the logo size a bit and also the size of the listing title. So let's edit the card again and pick the logo and set the width to 70 and height to 70. And also I'm going to decrease the gap on the parent container to 15 pixels. And another thing I'm going to do is reduce the padding to 15 on all sides. And now let's select the title and change the HTML tag to an H3 and save changes. As a final thing, we're going to test how the page looks when another user views it. So to do that, we're going to quickly create a new user here. And I'm going to now open this page, logged out, and log in as that user. And we can see there are no results showing because this user has not created any listings yet. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Voxel tutorials.